Hello, welcome to Reframing Mindset Podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframing Mindset Podcast. My name is Constant Books, and this episode I talk about week 22 of the 9-5 experience. And uh, um, I guess this episode we're ending another month, so we're entering a new month. So what I guess that's kind of reset. I guess this part of the 9-5 experience is that I think I reached a plateau in the sense that I passed the 6 month point. And what happens now is that is what I realized now when I was doing the work was that you're being kind of rushed in the first part. And when you're rushed, it's like you have to really learn the concept fast to really see how fast you're getting it. But now, and the more now I'm getting more stabilized in the company in the sense that, you know, um I don't have I don't I reach a point where I don't really have to rush anymore in the sense that, oh, I have to figure out if I go late, I have to figure out where I'm going to sit. My seat is more consistent now and stuff like that. My seat is more secured. And what happens now is that the stats are certain stats I I wish I was getting, but they're still not reaching it. So I guess what this phase of the world I realized, the 6 month phase, what I realized is that is where you start have to kind of like go back to the basics now. Is where what I realize you're settled down in the company now. You reach a point where you're not really fighting for your position now. What you're doing now, you're fighting to get back to the basics so that you can start to secure and start to move up again. What I mean by that is that I'm reaching the part where I have to go back to the fundamentals. So I have to try to maximize it because, as I said, if you're not really meeting the stats, you're really not getting the pay. You're not really getting paid. It's not really a high paying job. So you really have to actually. What happened is that you really have to actually go back down to the basics and be that good worker, so that they can start maximizing on the fundamentals, so that they can start get these stats. And we're going to a new month, so it's a new chance to really reach those stats. And what happened now, is I realized that I have to actually get this fundamental down, so that I can go into the next month and get it consistently. Because once you get these fundamentals down and you start clicking and you get that 1 week where you meet that core stats that you were hard to reach. Because what happened is that there was a point in time, there was one of these stats. I really stats now that I'm easily reaching now, that it was really hard for me to get. And then now I just can consistently count on that stats. This next month actively going now and actively know that, okay, this next stats I'm actually going to actively work on trying to get now. And what I realized that I have to actually actively what I realized is I'm going there tired. I have to actually get the sleep. I have to really be energized doing this work. I have to really start putting all these stuff some energy, because what I realize is that some days I'm actually doing well, and then I just feel get tired, and then I just slack off, and then let a bad spree just really just come and destroy the time of progress, the hours of progress that you built up before. So it's one of those things that I realize in the working world, you really have to be on the A game all hours of the day. And how to do that, that is another question. That is another question, because I'm really naturally a lazy person. And it's it's natural and unnatural in the sense that I'm naturally procrastinating, but I'm naturally I'm naturally a really low energy person. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not really finding that right rest period and the right meal prep and stuff like that. But I'm really usually low energy. So after I really have to figure out how to actually get that so that I'm going to do this work with high energy. And so that I can start consistently getting these stats. Because if I don't consistently get these stats, I may be laid off. And when I reach this point, we actually want to keep the job for at least a year or so. So I have to actually start go back down to the basics now. So I reach this part where I'm the plateau now. I'm at the plateau where I have to be like, okay, I have to really go back down to the basics and all those stuff that I was being told in the training is I guess I have to start taking into consideration where like one of my leads at the time was saying, yo, he usually watch a lot of videos on how to do this work on his downtime. I was like, I wasn't gonna really. I would just want to be here to actually see how far that I can go. But now I reach this far and I get the benefits and be like, oh, I want to reach further. Now I have to actually take those things into consideration. Be like, oh, I guess I have to actually start do some research and see how to actually do this work better, so that I can start execute more effectively. Those are stuff. Yeah, I have to actually um do now. I guess that's what happening in the real work as well. If you want to do better at your work, you have to actually start putting the research now. Talent can only bring so far. Now is with hard work, it's gonna actually start bringing you further, and that's where I reach now, where I have to put in the hard work and those stuff. And yeah, hmm and I guess what happened is that this week also is where I'm starting reaping the benefits of the after I'm going to try to start reading the benefits of being an employee now. I'll be up that 6 months of hard work, like for example. One of those I'm going to try to book to see if I can clean my teeth with the health card now and then nah. I mean book a sick day as well to actually do some other stuff as well. I have the ability to reap the benefits now after those 6 months of benefits and I'm not going to start use them strategically. And then now I'm on vacation. I'm going to start planning for that vacation now to see where I can go. Yeah, yo, you never know that you could have these stuff, but when you have it now, you start appreciate the benefits and start use them wisely. And that's what I'm going to start doing now in this these week 22. But the thing about it is that to actually reap it, you have to actually keep the work. So that's the reason why I say I reaching the plateau and now I have to start putting the hard work. This is where talent falls off and now where hard work have to really start putting now to say, okay, I have to really start reach this stuff. Because I'm still being getting called up for coaching because I'm really not executing that sort of stuff. And yeah, I have to really start putting the work now to say, okay, you know, I was doing this thing as a fun, but no, it's time to get down to business. Time to start putting the work now. Yeah, so that's how you really have to take it now. So, with that being said, thank you for listening and look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.